And good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me from around the world and in the United States. We welcome you to the program. And we should be so blessed today because if you are watching me on DianaWrightTV.webs.com, I know that you're alive and well. And you have to turn your attention to something that really, truly affected me greatly and took me back to the hurricane that I experienced in Florida. The folks in Oklahoma, and one town in particular, Moore, the town of Moore, that just was so devastated by this storm. And you wonder why I keep telling you every single day that you get up, you're up and you're vertical. You should be giving thanks and loving yourself because God has kept you from whatever destruction there might have been and made you to come and see another day. Wow. And you know, it's so interesting to note that when people think about, some of the things that bug them or some of the things that they should be worried about or whatever the case is, and you just simply ask yourself, what do I have to be grateful for today? And I'm here to tell you that you have a lot of things to be grateful for each and every day, that you're alive and well, loving yourself. You should be feeling blessed. And it's not about winning the $590 million if you are the person in Zephyr Hills. And all during the destruction and, the news coverage of what took place in Moore, Oklahoma. What struck me is that they had the same system of tornado years ago. I think it was last year. And the path was almost the same path, so similar. So my question was to myself, and I'm asking you, when disaster strikes where you live, do you go back to that neighborhood and rebuild, or do you go to someplace else because you're figuring, I just cannot do this another time? So that's my thought and my question for you today, to just ponder that in your mind. If you were living in Moore, a town that was wiped out not long ago, and the path of this tornado has come again, do you truly want to rebuild in that particular area? Or do you have enough faith to say, okay, God, this is where I want to be. Let's see what you do next. So how do we fathom that? And as I listened to the coverage, and I heard a voice, there was no person to the voice. There was a voice in all the destruction that said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Wow, that hit my heart and my spirit and my soul. Because I thought, yes, yesterday we were talking about the $590 million person. And today we're talking about the destruction of Moore in Oklahoma. So what do you have to be grateful for? You simply have to be grateful to be alive and be well. And whether you're going to drink some beet juice to keep your blood pressure down, or you're going to drink some hibiscus tea to bring it down so that you have your heart functioning properly. It is simply by the grace of God that we're even here every single day. And we're kept safe from whatever destruction surrounds us. So I plead with you this morning to love yourself And you notice I decided to wear my t-shirt again this morning because I just wanted to make sure that you see it on me. This, of course, is the fitted one. And the other one that I extremely love is the beater. But not everyone likes to expose their shoulders and their sleeve and their upper arms. So we did these for those people. And some people are just more conservative in general. So what do you have to be grateful for this morning? And I hope when you opened your boxes of blessings like I did this morning, I said, thank you, God, for saving me for another day. When I looked at the destruction on the television, the coverage from MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, it was everywhere. And the voice that struck me most, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. So what do we learn from that? That we should know that all the material things that we have in this life, it's not about the money. It's about you, your family, taking care of yourself, staying prayed up and trusting God, because you just never know what the next moment is going to bring. And as you watch those children cry and you could see the fear in their faces and in their eyes, it just makes you bleed to know that the wrath of nature can be so cruel. And on the other hand, so giving, so thoughtful, so caring, so loving. So I think of the word love every single day. Who do you choose to love? Who do you choose to give love? Who do you choose to accept love from? Because love is one of those words, I'm telling you, it's the biggest word on the planet. It's only 4 letters, but it gives you a punch. Because each and every one of those people who survived the tornadoes in Oklahoma, especially in the city of Moore, they need lots and lots of love and hugs this day to take them through. Wow. The word love. And if you put it in between the word I and the word me, it's easy. I love me. So as we ponder our blessings today and we think about all that we don't have, because a lot of us do that. We think about what we don't have, but we never stop to think about what we have and why we should appreciate what we do have and be thankful for what we have. Keep thanking God for it as He blesses us every single day. It is Tuesday, and it's time to hear from Judith from People 490. But I just thought I would encourage those of you who have family or friends in Oklahoma, and especially Moore. Can you imagine you're called the city of Moore, but then, woo, you have tornadoes wiping you out each time, and then you rebuild and you're bigger and better. But should you stay? Should they continue to build in that particular cone of tornado street? Wow. It was incredible to learn that that happened a few years ago and they had to rebuild, and the tornadoes came back almost in the same journey. God. So when we, some of us, we have so much money and we act like we're better than those who have none. When disaster comes, we're all equal in our pain and our suffering. And when tragedy comes, here you go. You have to be humbled once again. So let us give a prayer for those who lost everything in Oklahoma. Some people lost their family members. I think the death toll is up to 51 right now. So we just ask for you to pray for them. Ask God to give them comfort and, of course, love, because they're going to need it. And love and faith, believing and trusting gets you through to your miracles. Wow. Anyway, just let's look at some other things that are happening around the world and in the United States. Apple computer is being accused of being who? What? Apple? No. The biggest tax dodger in the United States is Apple. The same company whose stock is so expensive that you and I are not able to buy. The same company that their products are so exclusively expensive. Apple. Take a bite out of Apple today. Wow. How did Apple get to this point? And Apple, the company that has so much cash in the bank, is being accused of being one of the biggest tax dodgers in the United States. This disclosed, of course, by the Senate committee. They said Apple used what's called, quote, a complex web of offshore entities, close quotes, to avoid paying billions of dollars in U.S. income taxes. But there is no indication that Apple acted illegally, it is said. So CEO of Apple, Mr. Tim Cook, testifies before the Senate committee today. And we want to hear what he has to say, because already he's denying that they did that. So the Irish Republic, the home of 3 of Apple's subsidiaries, says it is not to be blamed for the firm's low tax payment. Ooh, so we look at all the wealth. We look at all the celebrities. Of course, Sinbad, who we affectionately know, that comedian, he's filing for bankruptcy because even though he makes $16,000 a month, he is unable to pay his debts. And you give pause and wonder to why, when people earn so much money, they get into places like not paying the taxes. Remember Lauryn Hill from 2 weeks ago, last week actually. How do they get to these places? Is it that when you have more money, you live bigger than you still can afford? I would have thought that if you earned $16,000 a month, you should be able to take care of your expenses, unless you're living like you're earning $30 million a month. So we wonder and we ponder about this, because the person who won the $590 million in Zephyr Hills, Florida, we know that that's a small community. And we also know that that $590 million could run that city for 12 years without having problems. So money is good, because without money, we can do not a lot of things, even though we are told that we can indeed feed ourselves with only $1.50 a day. So how do we ponder that? And how do we figure out why is it that some people can get into big problems even though they're earning tons and tons of money every month, and there are little people who are living on $1.50 a day in a lot of the world? It's not just the US. It's all over. So how much money do you need to live? Yeah, you want to drive a nice car, you want to live in a nice house, or apartment or townhouse. You want it to be nicely furnished, but how much money do we need to be responsible to pay our taxes and to take care of all our other responsibilities? And that's in a normal economic situation. Not talking about '08 when the market crashed and the economy crashed and AIG and all this scandal and all this other stuff that happened to us. And most of us lost our houses, went into foreclosure. Our homes are now worth nothing. They're underwater. And even though they're telling us that it's coming back, it's a lie. It's not coming back right yet. There's still much more time to go and ponder and wonder, should I invest any more money in this house that is worth not close to what I paid for it? Or should I just walk away, go for the short sale and move on and press on? What do you do when the people who are supposed to have so much just seems to be behaving like the people who have so little? So here we go. And we'll see how special a treatment Apple gets from the Senate committee panel today, as we will be probably getting some of the hearings, maybe not, because Oklahoma is much bigger than Apple right now in terms of a news cycle. So we just ask you to continue to look at your budget. Remember, I told you last week that Michelle Dunn, who wrote a book with a partner, she said, once you get to $75,000 a year, you can basically have the American dream, the white picket fence and all the goodies that goes with that. But I simply feel so deeply for the people in Oklahoma. But I'm truly wondering and pondering if they should rebuild in that corridor, where it is said that the odds of a tornado coming in the same spot twice is 1 in like a trillion or something. So I guess people figure they take their chances. But do I want to take that chance? Do I want to suffer that pain twice? And I guess that's how we have to ponder and look through our lives when we figure out what we need to do next. Let's move to New York with my favorite mayor, Mayor Mike Bloomberg. And of course, you know, he's the outspoken mayor of New York City and the ultra wealthy founder of the financial data and media company that bears his name, in turning his attention now to something else. He's turning his attention now to another of society's woes, the rising cost of college education. Absolutely. Why are we having to pay so much for our children to go to college and they come out and they have to go work as waitresses and waiters? So Mayor Bloomberg is taking this on. Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. Bloomberg, known for his battle against large sugary juices. We'll get to that because I know this is Judith that's calling us. Hi, Judith. How are you?
I love me.
I love me. Wonderful. Good morning. It is wonderful that you love yourself, because I'm telling you, you would not want to be in Oklahoma in the city of Moore today.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I didn't even know how I was going to do the show because I felt so weak. I wanted to cry. I didn't know what to do with myself this morning. And I just thought to myself, oh my God, this is just so devastating. And it reminded me of the hurricane that devastated Dade County years ago. And I think of the experience I had here with that hurricane. I think it was in 2005. And I actually lived through that in my closet with my hand on top of my head. And I thought, oh God, this is just so painful.
It is.
It is. And then when I heard the voice, there was no person, there was just a voice. I suspect it was someone who was cleaning up some of the rubble. And I heard the male voice say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just so moved by just hearing that.
Yeah.
And, I thought to myself, how many of us this morning are just going about our own little business, worrying about if our nose is big, if our skin is too dark, if our hair is too thin and we need longer hair, or flashing the long hair that we bought, instead of thinking of those people in Oklahoma today. So I welcome you, Judith, from People 490. We have to keep on living, despite the fact that we have to endure tragedy every single day.
And we have to support one another.
Yeah.
Through all of this. It's not easy. Whatever we can do to support, but I will guard against those persons who have a soft heart to get trapped into the web of others who claim they are collecting donations
for
your kind for this disaster.
Yeah.
Because you and I know that a lot of these monies and kind do not go where they say it's going. So I'm asking the listeners and those who are there, when you hear or see on the TV the request for donations, check it out thoroughly before you make your donation.
Hallelujah.
There are a lot of scammers out there. They are real. They do this and they do not care.
Absolutely.
So people, please listen up and listen up well. Do not get caught into this web.
Yeah.
Do what you can, yes, but remember, check.
And double check. Check, double check, and triple check before you send your check.
That's right. Absolutely. You got that right.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't know. Today has just so affected me because, when these things happen, it takes you back into your own experiences and your own tragedies and your own pain. And it just brings you back to that place where you don't want to be, but it takes you back there, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. It's a natural thing, I remember Gilbert in Jamaica. I was here, and my relatives were there. And let me tell you, I went through a whole lot because I couldn't hear from them.
Yes.
And, of course, I wasn't there to go to see them. We weren't able to take a plane and get there.
Exactly.
Within a certain time. And I remember we did a lot. I remember we did I don't know if you remember this, Diana. And I didn't even remember just by talking.
Of course I remember. I remember the drive that I had to do.
The drive that we did at Broward Boulevard and State Road 7.
Yes, and I also remember that it was a time when I had to call George Barber and, organize for him to get his plane, to get some stuff to Jamaica, and I could have got.
Remember?
Oh yes,
been around,
yes, we've been around. We've been around the block.
You and I have been around.
And I remember sitting there and just begging people to give money to get these things to George Barber's office in Boca. And when Mr. Barber agreed, because I had interviewed him prior, and he agreed to get his plane to get the things to Jamaica, and I was offered a ride to go, and I said no, I needed to stay here to continue begging money. I'm always begging.
Yes.
I'm always begging, for people to do good and to take care of themselves. I mean, this is my life's work.
That, so well, and it was so difficult. So
yes.
I put myself now in the place of those people who have relatives there and can't get in touch with them, I know what they're going through.
Exactly.
I have been there myself.
You go through so many emotions, you know. Should you cry? Should you go run down the street? Should you don't even know what to do, you know. It's like, oh my goodness. I see myself sitting in the chair in the studio at WAVS right now doing that telethon. It was, oh my God, it was so heartbreaking to see the suffering.
So
and
we
then
got through it.
Yes, we did. And then what the funny part was when Lovendare made that song about Wild Gilbert.
I know. That was, my goodness.
Yeah.
More money was made off that song than...
Exactly. And we just, everybody, you know, that song just kind of made you have a reason to laugh or to smile,
Yeah.
you know, after all that destruction. It was amazing. Wow. My goodness. We have certainly been through a lot of troubles, trials, and tribulations.
Yes.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't give up. You have to continue to do what God wants you to do and pursue your dreams and encourage others to love themselves and pursue their dreams, because disaster is going to happen and there's nothing we can actually do about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely nothing. So,
like the motto of People 490 says, with confidence,
yes,
you can. And that means you can do anything that you want to do.
And the Bible supports you on that. It supports you on that. The Bible tells us that you can achieve anything. It didn't say some things or 5 things. It says anything, you know, so.
Yet you remain humble.
Yes, absolutely.
To all of this.
Absolutely.
And that's our motto at People 490. With confidence you can, yet remain humble.
Amen. Amen to that.
Whatever you do, you know, do it with a lot of confidence, but remember to remain humble.
In the process.
We have today, just want to remind our viewers and listeners of the services we provide.
Okay, go ahead.
And we provide job placement services for employers and employees. We provide administrative and phone support services for businesses. So if you need your phone answered, we can do that for you. We can do administrative work for you. We have portfolio development to earn college credits. If you want to go to college to finish that degree that you didn't finish some years ago, you can get college credits from some colleges. Just make sure you check out the college first to make sure they take life experience, lifelong learning experience, and we can assist you with the portfolio development for those college credits. Also, we provide career guidance, and we have training in the hospitality and tourism industry, training customer service management, protocol, business etiquette, housekeeping, telephone technique, front desk and secretarial services, arrival and departure representation, and more. So we do a whole lot of stuff. Give us a call at 754-223-2410. That's 754-223-2410. Remember, not 954. It's 754.
Okay, okay, let's write that down. 754, because a lot of people might just be dialing 954.
Yes.
It's 754.
Yes, 223.
223.
2410.
2410. Not 954, people, please. It's 754. You know, I wanna just cut you there for a minute and ask you about something, because a lot of people believe that, you know, you're getting a job in the hotel industry or on the ship or something like that, and you don't need to, you know, be speaking properly. You don't need to be asserting yourself. You don't need to be having that confidence that Judith mentioned earlier. How wrong are we about that?
Very.
Okay. Because I just want you to kind of speak to those people for a minute, because people believe that because they're behind the scenes, most of the times the people who are in housekeeping are the people who you see when you're on a ship or when you're in a hotel, because you're not seeing the CEO of the hotel and the manager. You're seeing the person that's cleaning the room.
But you know something? In one of the things that I know that some people get wrong is the fact that, what you just said, they are not in contact with the guests of the hotel. And for housekeeping, for example, because like I said, I teach housekeeping, you don't know that as a housekeeper, you are closer to that guest than
the CEO.
and the CEO, and even the front desk representative.
Exactly.
And I'll address that part later on. But you go into that guest room, you clean and tidy up that guest room, you have access to their personal belongings and all of that. The hygiene of the hotel room must be well kept. You have to make sure that those toilet seats are properly cleaned, those beds are properly made, those linens are clean, the floor is clean, and so on and so forth. And you must be able to communicate efficiently and effectively with the guests in that room. For example, if you have a guest coming in from England, you know they're a citizen of England, so you know their tone of voice, you know their accent and stuff. And you go in there, that kind of stuff, it doesn't reflect well on the hotel.
Yes.
And it doesn't reflect well on you as a person either. So you need to learn to speak properly and clear. Your diction must be clear when you're speaking to people. And don't rush.
Yes.
Speak clearly, and so that the people who you're speaking to can understand what it is you're saying to them. That's very important. So, as a housekeeper, you are very, very important to the hotel that you work. And also, as a front desk operator, don't you ever forget it. You are the face of that organization. The customer calls in, and you're rude to them. That's it.
That's it. They are not coming back.
Exactly. You can make or break the business of that hotel. You and those guests call in, you must be very courteous to them. And no matter how rude they are, you try not to be rude. You just relax, take it easy, and let them flow.
And do your job with confidence. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
they're finished, then you ask them what it is that you would like me to do for you. And it works every time.
Every time, right? It a kind word is always good. A smile. Ooh, some of these people, they are so grumpy, you know.
And sometimes, you know what, Diane? They're trying to get away from something. Sometimes you find people coming into the hotel. It's not that they have a lot of money, or they're coming for a nice vacation they planned a year ago or so. Sometimes it's an haphazard jump, and I just want to get away. I want to break. So they're coming with all that emotion, all that anger and everything, whatever it is that caused them to be angry. They want to get away. They need some peace and quiet, and they just want to go to the hotel room, take a shower or bath, and just relax. And there you are. When they call you or they show up, you're being rude to them because no, you don't do that. Let them rant and rave. They're already in a bad mood. They want to get away. They're in a bad mood. Let them do it.
Yes.
You do not do it.
Yeah.
I don't care
so
how
true.
the person was rude. Don't tell me, oh, she was so rude. I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
Your responsibility is to be nice. If you're not going to be nice, then you need another job.
And also, you know, if you're like me, I'm one of those weird, crazy persons that go to hotels. When I get there, I want my sheets changed in front of my eyes. I don't want you to tell me it was changed this morning or yesterday. So don't get an attitude with me. That's just me. I want to make sure my sheets are clean. and my
because
pillowcase.
sometimes they just go in and make up and smooth out and move on.
Exactly.
And you don't know that.
Yes. So every
You know?
time I go to a hotel, I am asking, please change the sheets and the pillowcases in front of me. And I stand there. Sometimes my family gets a little impatient with me, but I stand there and they change the sheets, and I know they're clean now because I saw them coming off the trolley. And they're making the bed. So that's just one of my little things about hotels.
Yeah, nothing is wrong with that. Absolutely nothing is wrong.
So that's just me.
You're quite in order. Nothing is wrong with that. Everybody wants, you have germs all over the place. You have disease all over the place.
Yeah.
It's your choice. For your family protection. You want to make sure all is well. So kudos.
So, but you know that some of the hotels, when you go and you request that, they're trying to challenge you. Oh, it was just changed this morning. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry, but I need to see.
So if it was changed this morning, then just take them up, fold them, and use them for another room. That's fine. Just change mine. Just change mine. So nothing is wrong with that. It's fine, Diana.
Exactly. Our special guest inside of the Diana Wright Show live this morning is none other than Judith, and she's talking to us from People 490 and giving us great advice, of course. So if you are a housekeeper in a hotel or you are the front desk person, don't belittle those positions. They are key to keeping the guests coming back to that hotel and representing your company. So never think that your job is not good enough or it's not that important. It is indeed important. And as Judith said, please do the job you're doing with confidence. All right. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you before you continue with Mayor Bloomberg. I'm going to read the full story later on, but he is encouraging people in New York and around the country for that matter to not go to college but become plumbers, because a plumber cannot be outsourced or automated. And I love Mayor Bloomberg because he comes up with the things that a lot of people want to say but they're afraid to say it. But he has so much money, he can say anything he wants to say. So what's your reaction to being a plumber now?
You know something, I was in an organization at one time that we trained plumbers.
Wow.
Yes, we trained plumbers, and they were very, very highly required.
Because how many of us can be plumbers actually and electricians? Those two professions.
Yes, that's very important. And like Mayor Bloomberg said, you can't outsource.
It cannot be outsourced. And of course he said, and don't forget, it cannot be automated.
Exactly. I think I agree with him on those. What I don't think I agree with, though, is that he's saying they shouldn't go to college.
All right. That was the part I had an issue with, and that's the reason I brought it up with you, because I wanted to hear your reaction, because education for me is key to just about anything you're going to do. I don't care how simple it is.
It was always something that I grew up with, education, because my aunt, who I grew up with, she wasn't as educated as she would have wanted to be.
Right.
And she always had this thing. In Jamaica, I will say it in English when I'm done. In Jamaica, she always said, take your book.
Okay, go and study. That's what that simply means.
What she meant by that was I should study, make sure I do well in school.
Right. And you took that to heart, because you certainly did all the way up.
I did what I had to do. And you know what? I had a step uncle that he used to say he is not going to spend his money on girls because all they're going to bring home
is a baby.
It's a baby.
Well, you know that, it's interesting.
And I fought to prove him wrong.
And you know that it's interesting that you said that, because I've heard a lot of people say that their dads, when they grew up in places like Jamaica, did not want to invest in the female. They only wanted to invest in the guys, in the boys. And it's interesting that you actually had that experience, because I've heard that so often.
Oh yeah, that was
Wow.
my
Wow.
experience. That's what he said. He's not going to spend his money on girls because they're going to bring in a baby, and he certainly did not.
Wow.
But you know what? I had an aunt who, back in the day, we had what we called panel beds in Jamaica, and the headboard used to have a little slot that you could push money down inside of it. So you
Really?
put a piggy bank. Yes.
Okay.
And my aunt, she used to put money down in there. And let me tell you, I love that woman to death. And she used to save her money there. And we didn't even know this
Wow.
until when I needed books, when, you know, the time comes around, is book time and uniform time and all of that. And she had us pull that bed up, and those silver were falling out, and she was trying to get out all of them, and then she took them to Nova Scotia Bank. And she wasn't even thinking, because she took them to the bank to get the paper money.
Okay.
When she could have used the
coins, yes.
But she wanted paper money.
Yes.
So she
It's
went to
just
the bank, got them change out, and got paper money. And she sent the money to school so I could get my books, because at the time you had to take your money to school, give it to the teacher, and then they would place your order. Because we were in the country.
right.
They would place your order and get your books for you. And
Wow.
let me tell you something. I was ecstatic. And till this day, I remember the way she saved so that I could go to school, buy my books and uniform, and that the sacrifices that were made. And she always, take your book. I had to study. So, you know, that part, I disagree. I think you can go to college and you can still go get your plumbing
License,
done.
yes. Okay, you
And
need to do
it would be even more beneficial to you. You can get a higher paying job when you have that college degree with you.
Okay, so Mayor Bloomberg, we salute you, but we still want the plumbers to go to college.
Yes, I agree with
Okay, if it's even a 2-year college and get an associate degree, it will be something that he can brag about. All right.
Yes, you know, and then they have to communicate with different people on different levels, so it's good to be intelligent and educated.
Exactly. And as I was saying yesterday to my viewers, that when you go to high school, when you go to junior high school, when you go to elementary school, each stage that you go to, even though you might not love school or like school, you see, I was one of those people who always loved schools, but some kids just don't like school. Each time and each grade and each level, you learn a little bit more. So if you don't even really love college that much, when you leave high school and you go to college, you will, I guarantee you, learn something more than you knew when you graduated from high school. So just take the journey, you know, take the journey. It's a good journey to take.
It's a good journey. And you know what I always say? If you get the degree and you didn't get a job, it's fine.
Yes.
You should prepare. You should prepare that when the opportunity comes, you don't have to worry about trying to prepare at that point.
Exactly.
Prepare yourself for the opportunity. If it doesn't come now, it's going to come later. Please prepare yourself.
Exactly. So don't give up college because you figure, oh, this DJ road is better or this rapper road is better. If you can sustain it, because we know that not everyone has the gumption or the chutzpah to pursue college. But I do believe, though, that it doesn't matter how hard it is. If you study and you work hard enough, you will get there. You really will.
And you just have to be disciplined.
Yes, you have to be. And even if you have to do one class at a time, it's okay. Yes. Because when you do one class and you see how good you are, you will then want to say...
It motivates you to go further and do another class.
Exactly. And that's what I say to young people all the time. Don't give up because you figure, oh, I'm not smart. You are smart. You just have to apply yourself. And I'm telling you, when I come out and share my story, you all will understand why I'm so insistent that it's just about you working hard, going at it. You know, I have a Jewish friend who tells me, and you know, she helped my daughter with science and English and math to get back when she lost all that she lost. And she used to say to her, don't worry about it. 100 times is when you need to repeat it and go over it and over it. If you haven't repeated it 100 times to yourself, you really didn't learn it yet.
Yeah.
So she used that to encourage Paviel in her recovery. Right. And I'm telling you, it works like magic. And believe me, yes, she was very smart before all of this crap happened. And I'm calling it crap because it is crap that happened to her. But then, because of a parent like myself and my husband, who we daily, every day, we repeat. I mean, there were things that we had to repeat 100 times and more. But it sunk. And it got better. And my God, she's graduating from high school.
Right.
This month. You know, so it's not impossible. And I'm not just saying it to say it. You know what I'm saying? People think you're just saying things to say it. I've experienced it.
No, but what you need to say is that Judith, who is the executive director of People for 90, was right there. So if you think I'm lying, ask Judith. Exactly,
because she knows and she saw, and she probably in her moment of seeing probably thought, oh my God, how is Diana going to get through this? How is this going to end? You know? And yes, when you're there, it's hard to see the blue skies. But I'm telling you, if you persevere, if you work hard, because I had lots of sleepless nights, I can tell you that. Lots of days I thought I was going to fall asleep at the wheel. But you just have to do what you have to do. Parents, please, I'm begging you, don't give up on your children. They look like they're not failing in school. You need to probably just work a little harder with them.
Yes.
Okay? And yes, they'll get mad and they'll throw the book and do all kind of crazy things in the process.
They'll figure out later on. Believe me, they will.
Yeah, and when they get that A, how great they feel! I'm telling you, whoa, that A or that B. Oh my goodness, the smile is as big as you and I or Judith from People 490 cannot even describe. Okay, so don't give up on your children. So. Okay, so we took off on Mayor Bloomberg and we ended up at Paviel's hospital bed. So let's get back to People 490.
Yes. Yes, so just to let everybody know that we provide jobs for people who are seeking jobs, for employers. If you need employees, call us. If you're a business that needs assistance to answer your phone or do administrative work, we're there. We do training, customer service management, protocol, business etiquette, housekeeping, and so on and so forth, telephone techniques and so. I must get to the tip of the day.
Okay, before you get to the tip of the day, I just want you to kind of give people some encouragement when they come to you, because I think a lot of people, when they go to someone for help, they act as if, oh, I know everything. I don't really need any brush up to write my resume, or it's already done, you know, or, oh, I've had experience as a cook, you know, and just give them a little advice where that is concerned for me, please.
You know, that I'm glad you brought it up, because we have to admit to ourselves that we never know everything.
Amen.
I don't care how much you know. You never know everything. And yes, you might be a specialist in a particular area, but it doesn't mean that you know everything. I do hospitality and tourism, and I don't know everything about it. That is why I go to conferences and seminars when they're offered.
Right.
So, and I do public speaking, and I still go to public speaking events and so on. So it's very, very important that you listen, because you can learn a lot by listening. And if you admit to yourself that you did not know something, or you have room to learn something, then you can go a far way. So please, everybody out there, don't think that you know everything. If you want to know something, you must ask, you must seek out whatever information that is out there, but don't ever take it that you know everything. For example, I'm in this business. I talk to employers. I know what they're looking for in an employee. And when I say to you, and as a matter of fact, this is a nice segue into this dressing for success.
Okay.
go to them
Mm-hmm.
and the way they're dressed for the interview, it's already a turn off, and it's saying to the employer, no, you're not going to get this job before they even
ask you one question.
Right? And then they're coming to me and they say, but I wore a black pants and I wore and a white blouse. No, I don't want you to wear a black pants and a white blouse for an interview. And if you do plumbing, I don't want you to wear a jeans and a t-shirt to the interview.
Okay.
You need to dress the part. You're going for an interview. You're not going on the job.
Right.
You are going for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to dress the part.
That's right.
And by that I mean, you must wear, for the ladies, it's more appropriate to wear a skirt suit. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I understand you can wear a pantsuit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more appropriate for a skirt suit.
Okay.
And for the male, wear your tie and your long sleeve shirt. But if you have a short one, as long as it is clean and ironed.
An iron. Thank you.
Right? You can wear it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because not everybody has a lot of money, and I'm trying to work on something where I can get some clothing for people who need interview clothing. So, but that's something we'll talk about at a later date.
Right. Okay.
Wear a clean shoes, not a sneaker. I have had people come to me in sneakers. Do not wear a sneakers. I don't care if you're going to be the PE trainer director, that you're going to be out there every day in sneakers and stuff. You're coming for an interview. Do not wear a sneakers to come to me for an interview.
Amen.
And if you're going to an employer, no. The next thing, they would come in and the perfume scent is killing you.
Ooh, too much fragrance.
You don't get that job because I have allergic to perfume. I start sneezing right away.
Okay.
I don't want you sitting there watching me sneezing and snorting all over the place. So guess what? You don't get that job because I don't have the time to interview you. I'm sick. You make me sick right away. So you do not wear those perfumes. Nothing is wrong with you wearing a little tab of perfume if you're going in to your job, but not on your interview. Also, the deodorant. Deodorant.
You must have on some deodorant, okay? No interviews with body odor.
Madam Diana, I'm telling you, you don't know. I have been there, seen it.
Yeah.
Okay? People do not realize it. Remember, you don't smell your body odor like others will. Right?
Yeah.
And you must take a shower and put on your deodorant. Make sure you use a dry towel to absorb the water. A wet towel, it leaves the water there. The dry one absorbs it. So you use a dry one to get rid of all that water. Then you put on your deodorant. Don't come to me with your arm smelling.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people, we're talking about this, and a lot of people are thinking to themselves, oh my God, yes, I never thought about that. Because it's important, especially the fragrance. A lot of people just spray on that perfume everywhere. You know, I see people putting perfume in their hair, and I'm going, what? Are you insane? You know, seriously, I've seen that, and I'm totally shocked. Why are you putting on so much? You're really just supposed to put on a little dab here, a little dab there, a little dab there. You know, that's it.
No, especially when you're going for an interview. For the ladies, please, wear light makeup. Don't you going out there looking like Sharon Williams in store. You're going for an interview. Yes, you put on your lipstick and do your eyebrows or whatever it is you're putting on. Put it on lightly.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
You don't want to go out there like you're in a competition with the paint store.
Okay, that's right. And my goodness, some of them do put on a lot of makeup. They're going for an interview and they figure, let me put on all this makeup because it's going to make me look better.
No.
Yes.
No.
So there you go. Wrong thoughts.
And the next thing, if you're going out there for an interview, wear conservative colors. Do not go out there wearing a sunshine yellow dress.
Or a hot purple thing, and the
Yes.
bright colors that are wearing now. Conservative is still in style for interviews, right?
Yes, because you have to go. You're going to present yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a beautiful smile. You should have a beautiful smile. Don't overdo it now.
Okay, and make sure you brush your teeth too.
Oh, thank you. And so I'm giving out these hygiene tips today because I have been doing this for years. And I've seen it, and I have to counsel youngsters on these things. So I'm giving it out so that others will hear what I have to say and the importance of it. Do not the perfume. I have seen people who could have possibly get a job because of the perfume. The interviewer could not interview, therefore they could not get the job because
Wow.
it just killed the whole thing.
Wow.
Now, ladies, I know we have to travel with our handbags.
Thank you for that one.
I know people come in for their interview and the handbag is in the lap and they have to be contending with it falling out. Right?
And it's so big.
They're not paying attention to the interview. That's a no-no, people. Please don't do that. Yes, we have this thing that we cannot put our purse on the floor because we're going to be broke. You're already broke.
Yes, you're already broke. That's why you're looking for a job.
Right? So,
Oh, mercy.
rest the purse, the handbag, on the floor next to your feet. That is fine. When you're finished, then you take it up. Or another option, if a chair is in the room, you can ask permission. Just don't slap it in there because this is important. Ask the interviewer permission. May I rest my handbag in the chair? And they're not going to say no, but the right thing to do is to ask. And then you put it in the chair next to you or in the corner. If you have your credentials that you brought in with you, the right place to put it is in front of you on the desk at your interview, right? Because you're going to need to be turning those pages or handing the interviewer these documents.
Right.
So they need to be easily accessible, well uniformed, so that you can present them when you're asked to do so.
Okay.
And you rest your hand in your lap on your thigh. Do not go folding your hands or sprawl out over the desk. It has happened, I'm telling you.
Oh, no,
no exaggeration.
Yeah, the reason I'm laughing is because a lot of times people go for interviews and they're not even conscious of what they're doing. And the fact that you're giving them all these tips is saying to them, yes, I need to be mindful of those things, because it's important.
Yes. Sit upright. Don't go spreading all over the people's desk. And smile when it's necessary, the appropriate way. Don't go smile because you think that smile is going to get you the job. No, that's right?
Oh, my goodness.
So all of these little tips on here today are very important. So for everybody out there who's looking at a job, remember these things. And you have to remember also, in this day and age, background check, very important.
Ah, yes. I was gonna, if you didn't bring it up, I was gonna say to you, please, can we talk about background checks and your profile on Facebook and those things next week? Because, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. A lot of young people are not getting jobs because they had put a naked picture on YouTube or whatever, or, it's so sad.
It is the things they do. And employers wants to know that whomever they're hiring is trustworthy, is reliable, and intelligent, and all that good stuff.
Right.
And people are not going to take up their money to put or invest in someone who they believe from the get-go is not going to come through for them. So there's a lot of background check that is there. We can't get rid of it, and we're not going to get rid of it because I don't want to send someone to an employer who is not going to do my company proud.
So people 490 actually does the background check, or you advise the client that they're going to have to do it?
I said they'd get it done through the sheriff.
Okay, all right. So you actually do that. Okay.
Yep, they have to do the paperwork and take it down and background check, and then when that returns to me, then I can use it.
Okay, great. So you kind of know before you send someone out that they are indeed trustworthy, at least.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. Because people get offended for just about every little thing these days, so you have to just let people know what's necessary to get a job. And getting a job these days just is much more difficult than years ago. There's so many other components to think about. Like Judith was talking about, just simply where to put your bag when you go to an interview. Don't just be slopping it all over the place. And some of these women, they have these big old bags. I don't know what they're carrying in it. They're carrying their whole house and their life in it, and it's like, okay, why am I doing this? And where am I going to put the bag when I get there? So I'm so happy that Judith brought that up. Ladies, when you're going for an interview, you have to be mindful of these things. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Miss Judith from People 490, because this is just really good information for anyone. I don't care where in the world you are. This applies. Right, Judith? Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Grooming. Hygiene, personal hygiene, self-grooming. It's very important. I've had persons who come to me and I have to do my little thing in my own little way because I don't want anybody coming to me and feel that I embarrass them in any way. And that is why I do get training for these things.
Okay.
So that I know how to approach it. And it's very important that you present yourself well-groomed and you don't have this sense and all this kind of stuff that's going to turn off an employer who would very much, because you might have the skill required, you have the educational background, but because of the way you present yourself, it's a turn off, so you don't even get the interview, let alone getting the job.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good tips, and wow, we love them. Any final thoughts before you go? My goodness, this was a good one.
Yes, I still have the people in more. I want to ask everybody to just keep them in your thoughts and pray them up, and just because I just feel it's just hurting.
Yeah, it's a sad day. It's a very sad day.
I'm asking everyone to keep them in your thoughts, and if you can provide some assistance, do it. But like I said before, do your due diligence before you give your cash or your kind.
Yeah.
Because we don't want those scammers out there to take advantage of people who have a kind heart.
Exactly. And of course, don't forget to give Judith a call at 754, not 954, I said now, 754-223-2410. That's 754-223-2410. And it's People490. And of course, the website is easy to remember. People490.com. That's it. It's so easy. Go ahead, Judith. I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
That's fine, and that's what I have to say. And remember, love yourself and be confident in yourself.
Amen.
And remain humble.
Alrighty, good thoughts for the day, and within this process we hope you learned something, and we want to say thank you, Judith, for joining us, and we look forward to some more exciting things and tips for next week Tuesday, because they are helpful. Some of us don't want to talk about things like deodorant and too much perfume and your handbag, because you love your handbag that you paid $200 or $1,000 for that you can't even afford. That's another story. Seriously, because I go in the store and I go to Louis Vuitton, those exclusive boutiques that they have within a store, like in Saks Fifth Avenue. They will have a little thing for Chanel, and there's a security guard standing up. And you know me with my crazy self. So I'm in Atlanta, and I go to Phipps Mall, and I saw the security guard there. So I go to him. I said, "What are you guarding?" I'm just one of those people who just love to ask questions. So I said, what are you guarding there? Are these bags so expensive that you need to be guarding them? And he says, yes, we have to, because you never know what's going to happen. Some people, even though I'm here, they try to steal a bag or so.
And they do, Diana.
Yeah, and exactly. And I'm going, oh, well, maybe that's the reason I don't buy a Chanel bag, because I can't afford it. And even if I could afford it, I would not be buying one. So he laughs, and my mother is over there looking at something and says, what are you and the guard having such a conversation about? Mm-hmm. And then you go over to the Louis Vuitton boutique, and there's another guard there too, and I go in and I look at the prices, and I'm going, a bag for $2,000? No, thank you. Bye. So it's so funny. And some of these women you see with these bags, and you're going, oh my God, did you pay your bill for something else? Can you really afford this bag?
Good. That is why when you said earlier, how what's his name, the comedian, is filing bankruptcy.
Yes, Sinbad.
They're living above their means.
Exactly. Why do people do those things? It just...
No, you don't. That is why I just have certain kind of friends. Because if you cannot accept me for me and what I can afford, then we can't be friends.
Exactly.
Because I am not going to buy a 6-bedroom, 6.5 bathroom house for $500,000, for example, when I can only afford a $200,000 house just to please my friends. I'm not going to do that.
And then you have to stress yourself out.
When I can only afford a Toyota.
Exactly. And then you're going to stress yourself out to pay the bill for the house, because then you're going to have to get 3 jobs at least.
Yes, and sometimes you can't even get them, and your friends are going to pay it for you. You just want to impress your friends. Why?
Yeah.
You live within your means, and things just go step by step. You get there.
Exactly. And I think the key is, when you love yourself, you don't do those things, because you are truly in love with who you are, so you know what you are supposed to be doing.
There you go, my girl.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Judith, for joining us today. We look forward to some more tips, and I'll keep reminding people of some of those tips, because, it's a whole week before you come back. So they might be forgetting them along the way. So I have to just keep stressing you. Thank you so much, and have a great and blessed day. All right. Okay. That's Judith490. And of course, we invite you to go to her website at people490.com. And please, if you need to give her a call, and if you call and she does not answer the phone because she might be busy with another client, please leave a proper message. Don't just talk about call me back or something like that, No, you need to leave a proper message and leave your telephone number so the person can give you a call back. And the number to call is 754-223-2410. That's 754-223-2410. And it's Judith at People490. She's the director of the company. And of course, she will guide you if you're looking for a job, if you're an employer who has a job, who wants someone to work for you. She's a person to call, because she takes her time and does her due diligence to send you the right employee. So if you are an employer and looking for someone to send you the right employees for the job, please give Judith a call. So we thank her for her tips today. Please keep in mind, no one is trying to offend anyone. We're just giving you advice as to the right and proper way. Yes, callers are in, but callers are not in for interviews. So you see, just a simple thing as that. Your handbag can become an issue. Too much perfume is an issue. I didn't ask her about too much hair. I will next week. Because you know how I feel about that. I'm totally in, disagreement with all these black women, especially, who are just piling on the hair. Yes, we know you paid for it, honey. And we know it's synthetic, some of you, and we know some of you it's human hair and it looks better. But my God, don't do it, overdo it too. Please. Okay, all right. So we're going to finish this story about Mayor Bloomberg, and then we have to trolley out of here until the 8 o'clock hour with Dr. Melanie Simpson this evening. And we certainly hope and pray that the people in Oklahoma will find some peace, some solace, and some love today. So Mayor Bloomberg is, he's advising students to become plumbers. So he said this, quote, "The people who are going to have the biggest problem are college graduates who aren't rocket scientists, if you will, not at the top of their class." Bloomberg, that's what he said, and that's in quotation. He continues his quotation here. "Compare a plumber to going to Harvard College. Being a plumber, actually, for the average person, probably would be a better deal." End of quote. Bloomberg himself is a graduate of Johns Hopkins University and Harvard Business School, pointed out that plumbers make a good living and don't have to deal with paying off huge college loans. Bloomberg may have a point. I think he has a point here. He says the 2010 median pay for plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters are almost $47,000. And that's statistics from the Bureau of Labor. Okay, also the median pay for all occupations are slightly more than $33,000. So if you're a plumber, you're starting off at $47,000. As a regular employee, $33,000. So, but the top 10% of plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters earned more than $79,000 a year. Even better, the job segment is projected to grow 26% through 2010, with new construction and a wave of retirements among older plumbers spurring employment. So Bloomberg, whose net worth is estimated at $27 billion by Forbes, that's what Forbes says, added that plumbing has another benefit in that it isn't suitable for outsourcing. So they can't outsource you as a plumber. It's hard to farm them out, and it's hard to automate them also. So the growing indebtedness of college grads has become a national topic, given that tuition hikes are outpacing inflation, and recent grads are facing a tough job market. For students who graduated in the class of 2011 and borrowed to earn their degrees, the average debt was $26,600, up 5.3% from the previous year. This according to the Project on Student Debt. Meanwhile, 284,000 college grads are making minimum wage, with degree holders taking jobs at employers such as Costco. Yes, Costco and Starbucks. Okay, so please, let's keep that in mind. And also, I have a tip for Khloe Kardashian, who the governor of New York, Mr. Cuomo, is taking her on because of her t-shirts are showing something that might just be infringing on New York's copyright for their slogan for New York. So Chloe, you need to come up with something as original as I did. I Love Me, because you see, I wrote a song titled I Love Me. It's copyrighted, and hence my t-shirts are born from that. So when you're coming up with t-shirts, be careful what you put on it, because you might just be getting a letter penned from Governor Cuomo of New York. So please make sure you give that a thought. Anyway, this is where we have to leave you this morning. Just reminding you to love yourself. Take the word I and the word me and put the letter love in between. And there you have I love me. And don't forget, the word love is the biggest word on the planet. We all seek it. We all want it. We all need it. And my God, when we get it, it makes us feel so good. So if you're feeling so good about someone else loving you, why not feel even greater about loving you? So I love me, the phrase that will continue to bless. And as we go into 2014, remember the date for loving yourself, the date just like Valentine's Day, it's April 30th. That's I Love Me Day. Tomorrow morning, we'll have Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn, as we will talk about lots of other things. We hear that beets is good for blood pressure. I thought beets was good to help you if you have anemia. But it's also good for blood pressure. So we'll talk to Dax about that tomorrow. And also, Come Thursday evening at the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have Dax again joining us when men speak. So we're asking men to give us a call on that evening, share with us what they're looking for in a relationship, how they feel about women and all those good things. We know sex is a theme, but we want to get into the relationship. Friday is Wow Friday, and yes, we go through all the news of the week and see what wowed us most. Also reminding you of a date that you need to remember, October 5, where Save a Life Jamaica Foundation gives you the opportunity to save a life by contributing only $30. And if you're not going to come to the blank party fundraiser, then you need to go online to their website at savealifejamaicafoundation.com and donate the money there. So anywhere you are around the world, we want you to fly in for the party. But if you can't make it, we'll take the contribution and we will put it to good use. And you know I'm part of that, so no money goes wasted. So thank you so much for joining us today. We welcomed you from around the world and in the United States. So we thank you from around the world and in the United States for joining us today. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Au revoir, adios, and ciao. I love me in any language is the most important phrase on the planet. So love yourself, stay prayed up, and be blessed. Doobie doobie doo.